You're listening to The Fellas with Anthony McCoy,
Listen, man, that wasn't my fault. It was an unknown error.
Rich Thurston,
Someone said it was like the Bulls never changed their passwords and Tibbs just popped in and did an auto trade.
Kev Lund,
We're out here doing this podcast, and these fools are out here blowing Super Bowls. Like, let's switch that up. Pay me a cool million, and I'll call the right place. I promise you.
and Kyle Straub.
When one of those point guards is James Harden, yes, the answer is yes, they are a better team.
Huge news over the weekend with the NCAA possibly coming down. That's what my hopes are. The FBI gets involved and Blue Chips goes from a fictional movie to a historical documentary. Thanks for joining us this week on The Fellas. And that's where we're going to start is with the NCAA. Guys,
Chips.
everybody has known this shit's been going on for 30 plus years. Players are being paid. They're given cars, dinners, whatever it may be. We saw the news come out. It's from one agency. This thing is going to be huge. Everybody has their own opinion. Let's start with Arizona, though. Sean Miller caught on wiretap talking about $100,000 for Eaton, whatever the hell the guy's name is.
DeAndre.
He didn't coach last night, but the player played. How in the hell does that make any sense?
Because players are always more important than the coach.
Yeah, the school can make the coach not coach, and then still get the player to play. Why not? Like,
But my thinking is, if they're not letting the coach because he did something illegal, and what he did was illegal with this player, how in the hell are you letting the player play and not the coach?
why?
Obviously, they're going to get in trouble for letting him play, so what are you doing it for?
But you
Don't
might
you
as
have
well
to
win
prove
now while
he-
you can, son.
Don't you have to prove he took the money, though?
Uh-huh.
Like, you know the coach wanted to offer it, but you don't know if he took it yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but why does the coach have to not coach them?
Because he's
If
on
there's no proof
FBI
that the money actually got
wiretap.
changed hands and it was just a discussion.
Because there's
can
actually
assume-
proof that he
Yeah.
was going to.
He's
do something
guilty.
illegal.
That's why. Yeah, he's guilty, son. There's proof.
I
That
mean,
he's
I think they both should have not been allowed to play.
I think
Well,
they both
one
should have been
not coach and
allowed to
one
do
not
whatever
play.
the hell they want.
guilty.
Well, that leads into what I ultimately want to do with this topic is, how do you fix this? And Rich, you think it's just pay them?
It's either just pay them, or you let people go market themselves away from the team. Like, I don't know any of the top recruits this year. Like this kid on, what team is he on?
Aiden, Arizona.
Yeah, in Arizona, right? If he can go get a deal with Nike now,
He
or
might
if he
go
can go
to the
get a deal
Bulls.
with Gatorade now, like, let him have that. And have him
Word.
out there in his Arizona colored jersey with no number on it. And, you know,
Yeah.
if 11th man on the bench can't do that, sorry. That's that's the open market
Yeah.
system, kid.
That's America.
Yeah.
Bring back some NCAA live so I can get some college basketball video game
Yo,
back in my life. And
That's
give him a
exactly what
cut.
they should do,
Can
son.
give him a cut.
Yeah, do
Right.
that too.
Bring NCAA football back, because that game was dope.
Yeah.
You'd be out
Well, I
here.
did like that game.
That game was awesome.
Yeah. McCoy, Kev, do either of you guys have a different idea?
My only thing is, like, if you start paying the players, then, like, what are you going to do? Set a limit on it? Like, you can get paid this much? Like, the schools can't pay the players. It has to be outside source.
They set a limit on the pros.
Yeah, but, like, say the colleges, because here's what's going to happen. There's not going to be there's a salary cap, but they're not going to be able to enforce that. This guy, Aiton's making $100,000. You know, if you want a better recruit and that's the most you can offer, you know you're sliding them extra cash somewhere.
I mean, who is this hurt? Like, who is this physically hurt or mentally hurt? Like,
Nobody can.
like,
No,
right? Like, who is this? Like, this is the way shit's been happening for how long now? So I mean,
forever, son. Since
Like-
it was a thing.
now because people, it's one of them things. Like now because you know you're gonna get, and you got proof. It's all mad. You knew this was happening. Like
Right.
there is no
So you think
fix,
things should
man.
just stay as is
There
and
is no fix.
Whatever, just go ahead and keep on doing
I mean, at
under the
least
table
just
deals?
like let these kids make some money. Like stop like
But
penalizing.
how, though? What's your idea to give them money?
No, I'm saying the all these, what are they called, boosters and all that shit. That shit's out there. That's gonna happen. But I'm saying like if they want to have a college Nike deal or like Rich said, Gatorade or whatnot. Don't.
So you're along the same line that if a kid can go and get a sponsorship, if somebody wants to give them money,
Yeah.
you're cool with it.
Why not?
Yeah, like what other world are we not cool with it?
Yeah.
I'm asking you guys. I have my own opinion that I'm going to give. I just
Right,
want to hear what yours are
if you're
first.
that old and you're a nice ass skateboarder, you're sponsored. Like if I have a nice ass car, I can get sponsored by Stereo System Company. You know what I mean? So why the hell
Exactly.
can't a college athlete get
That plays
sponsored by someone?
in a $1 billion industry.
And who is going to sponsor him in a year or two anyway? Like,
Yep.
So I'll give you the argument against that is out there, and it's if you allow that to happen, then who's to say that these companies are not going to get with schools and kids are still being funneled towards a specific school based off of whoever they have interactions with when they're in high school and AAU,
I'm cool with
which is
that.
essentially what's happening now.
well, apparently Louisville did that. And how many titles did they win?
One.
One.
So it didn't work out that
And,
great.
and I'm fine with it because
So-
we got Jordan Brand, son. So we're straight.
I mean, whether someone's going to be funneling them there, I mean, whether it's going to be the company or whatever, they're getting pushed there.
So honestly, I think that baseball in college has it the closest of any of the sports to getting it right, but they're still not quite there. With baseball in college, you can get drafted and go right out of high school. If you want to do that, go for it.
That's because there's
If
an
you do go
established
to
minor
college-
league system, though. There's nothing
Well,
like that
there's-
for the NBA.
There is, though. The G League is much better than it used to be. Like before the one and done rule was in effect, they put that in effect because all these kids coming out of high school weren't ready.
You
most
know
of
what
them.
the problem
And they
with
had
that
nothing
is?
to do with them. But they do have the G League now, where if they get a kid in right out of high school and he's not ready, you can let him play there for a season or two.
They don't get paid anything, though. Like, you'd be better off going to college and taking the
All
Arizona
right,
coach's
so
offer.
that's part of my answer. In order for this to
Like,
actually
no, I'll go to
work,
Zona
the
for
NBA
100K.
has to get involved with it. Because the NBA has to be willing to get rid of that one and done rule, because it's not a college rule. That's an NBA rule.
Mm-hmm.
They then have to be able to put the money into the G League to use it as a development. It's the only way that you get rid of this completely,
Let's
where the
not-
cheating
let's-
doesn't happen anymore.
It's been on
Let's
that
not
for a
act
while.
like this is just basketball.
And
though.
as far as while kids go to college, because in baseball, if you do go, you have to stay until you're either 21 or after 3 years, because there's some kids that are 21 after 2 years of college. I think with basketball, it should just be a straight 2 years. So if you go to college, you have to be there for 2 years. You get drafted out of high school, you can go. While they're in college, I think you guys hit it on the head, though. If you can make money off of your name, go for it. Hire an agent and let him go and do whatever he does to get that kid the money.
Yeah,
I saw Bomani Jones say that like college baseball players and college hockey players can have agents while they're in college.
Yeah, they hire agents while they're in high school.
So let's talk about that. How come the two sports, right? And I'm going to take it to a place Bomani took it because it makes a lot of sense. That are predominantly black can't have agents, but the two sports that are mostly white can.
Coincidence?
No.
Like,
No, I mean
That's
it's-
a-
it's-
making it more
it's-
difficult.
It's a great point that was brought up not just by him. I think it was Stan Van Gundy
Of course it
who
was.
said that the one and done rule, a large part of it was rich old white guys not wanting 17-year-old black kids who were coming from inner
Yeah, they
cities
don't wanna pay them
to get
millions.
millions of dollars.
Right.
And I'm sure that part of it had to do with that, which is why I think that these kids should be able to hire an agent. If you're in basketball, and that's the one sport I think out of anything where you can come right out of high school and go to the NBA, and some kids succeed. We've seen it.
a
Then why
majority
not
of
let
them do.
those kids? Then why
Yeah.
not let those kids get the representation to find out what it is, see what their market is? That makes no sense not to allow them.
Yeah, there's nothing bad gonna happen from it. So like,
The-
all these
Well,
rules are
so
set
there
up.
probably is, but the issue is that no matter what you do, everybody's going to cheat. No matter what happens, in the end of the day, somebody's trying to get the upper hand. They're going to do something that's against the rules.
I mean, that's just like saying
That's
like,
life,
hey,
son.
you're part of our club, right? You're gonna end up leaving it anyway. But if you go test the waters to see where you're at right now, you can't come back.
Right?
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what the fuck?
What do you mean?
If you hire an agent, right? You're trying to test the waters to see where your future is going to be. in the
Yeah,
draft
but
status.
all right. So
but it's-
college basketball does have a little bit of leeway there. Like kids can go to the NFL, the NBA Combine, get feedback from the scouts and the teams, and as long as they don't hire an agent, they can say, okay, I'm going to go or I'm going to come back.
And they just changed that. Like they just pushed
Yeah,
it.
2
that's
years ago.
reasonable.
Yeah, they just moved that up. So, but
But they can completely do away with that if they just allow them to hire an agent because the agent now knows what the market is for him every single year.
isn't that what Tony Bradley did? He had an agent before he was supposed to, or was talking to an agent.
No, so part of this thing that I actually also wanted to talk about is how horrible ESPN was with reporting it. Like they threw every single kid and every single school into the same
Of course they
category.
did.
When you have guys that are getting paid $100,000 or guys like Wendell Carter
Like
with Duke
200,
or Tony Bradley with UNC, who literally his dad got pizza with the agent. That was it. A couple of pieces of pizza.
I'll let you know right now, my dad tell you go to hell. Getting pizza whoever the fuck he wants to.
Nah,
Right?
anybody
Like,
But
should.
it's not even the players that are getting the free meal. If it's free, they're not sure if it was free or not. They just see that it was written down that they got lunch or dinner with them.
Shouldn't that be
So they
part
don't
of the
even know
draft
if it was
process
free.
though? Like,
even
that's part
even
of
the
the draft
airplane
process.
tickets, like big deal.
Yeah, like this dude's going to the draft. If he gets drafted in the first round, like he should be able to do this. Like his family should be able to talk to somebody and see if they like the person. Like it's ridiculous.
And that's what they're both. This kid's mom, Wendell Carter, and Tony's father came out, and it was, listen, we didn't even sign with them. It was just a lunch to like see who they were, introduce
Yeah.
everybody, and kind of get a feel for it.
I mean, you're not helping the players by not letting them prepare for this. Like you want them to
Well,
finish the season, and then within a month or two, pick an agent and get into all this other stuff. Like give them
I
some
think
time.
I think you just hit what the ultimate issue is here. They're not trying to help the student. They have no interest in the student and what the well-being of them is. All they want is the green. They want to make the money off of those
Greenbacks.
kids, and the best way for them to do it is to keep them in amateur status.
They're gonna make
Well,
money anyway. Like,
Well, I mean, college basketball is the only sport that the NCAA actually makes money off of.
They
The
have
way
to
that
make money
football
off
is
of football.
structured, the schools make money, but the NCAA doesn't.
not off
With
the
basketball,
football.
because of the but with basketball because of the tournament, the NCAA makes billions of dollars.
Right, so it doesn't even matter that they don't make money from the other sports.
But that's why the cheating has kind of just been allowed to happen because they're not going to bust these big schools that are making the money for them.
And because no one really gives a fuck.
Well, yeah, they
Like
don't.
no, like
Really?
I want to know why the FBI cares so goddamn much. We're out here wiretapping the goddamn coach of Arizona.
Y'all ain't got better things to do.
So much better shit. Like
Yeah,
stop, like keep
There's
me
so many
breathing.
better
Like I
things.
said, they
Yo, Ken
submitted
had the best point.
They submitted the dude's name that shot up the school in Florida, and they were like, "Oh, we don't know who it is." They submitted his Instagram name. Well,
Yeah,
his
they went and
Instagram
interviewed the person, and then
motherfucker,
they
his
said they couldn't find
Instagram
him.
name was his first and last name. You're the FBI. You can't figure that out.
They
Man,
put all
it
their
could've
funds
been-
into taking down college basketball, son.
The goddamn kid was a student at the school he shot up. It wasn't that hard for them to figure out.
Man, you give us an Instagram
figure.
name in about 45 minutes, I could find that shit.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know why they got involved. I'm happy that they are because it will change things hopefully, and I really hope that it changes it for what we're saying. Like allow these kids to somehow get some money out of this process if you're going to force them to go to college.
But you know what's happening in football. I'm pissed that it was just basketball that got called out like this.
I don't think it's happening as much in football because the rosters are so much bigger.
Half of those dudes that go to all those major conference teams are bought off.
I don't know, man. Like think about that. If the top kid on every team gets $100,000 in college basketball, let's say that's just what it is. How are you going to split that up in football? Because you've got offense and defense, and you've got 11 on each side compared to just 5 for basketball.
Man, I don't know,
You're just
dude.
shelling out a couple of
Well-
$1 million to students every year.
Why all of a sudden is Kirby Smart getting all these people that normally would go to Nick Saban?
Well, there's
Huh?
there's different ways of cheating
That
in
down-
football, but I don't
look,
think it's straight paying them.
I don't think it's all over, but don't tell me them down south whites aren't paying people off.
Nice, yeah.
I think
they
actually,
flashed
Kev, I
that
think with
dollar
football,
sign, bro.
I think with football, it's more of what you said at the top. The boosters are the ones who are doing that kind of stuff.
It's
In
happening.
basketball, it's agents. In football, I think it's boosters
Well,
that are the ones that are. giving a kid a car or a watch or something like that. That's what happened with Marvin Alston at USC.
Next it'll be a sommelier or whatever that wine guy was, right?
Yeah, you got it right. There you go.
It's probably so much easier to get away with it in basketball, though, too, because they can leave after 1 year. So it's like, these dudes that are already in the NBA, what do they care?
What do they care?
Sure, I
Like-
take money. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like Dennis Smith Jr. got
Thank you.
$75,000
Oh, I
allegedly.
wanted
They
to-
asked him about it. He said, "I have no comment." The
I
end
wanted
of the
to talk
conversation.
about this.
yeah, word. What
I
do
would've-
you mean? I
I
forgot
would
all
have
about
said
that.
so
season.
much. I would have said so much.
So much, Kev.
At that age, I would have said so much.
Right, and there's the bigger issue. What kid at 17 or 18 is turning down 6 figures?
Not me. I'm not
Just
trying to-
because
No.
somebody said, no, you're not supposed to do it?
Right? With no
not-
real reason
okay.
behind it not to do it.
Yeah.
No.
Like, you needed
Here's
to give
nice
me a
house for your family or
seriously good
something,
reason
you know?
at 17 not to do something dumb.
You mean to
That
tell
doesn't
me?
seem like something dumb, and you're telling me I can't do it?
You mean
Nah.
to tell me the worst thing that
Because
can
what-
happen is these white men I don't know are gonna get in trouble? Give me that check.
Yeah. Got that new house. There you
I'll
go.
take
How
it
old is
today.
he right now? How
Word,
old is he
son.
right now?
Smith, like 20.
Right now, today, the other day when he did that interview, 20 years old?
Yeah, something around there. He's only a rookie.
I mean, he's either 19 or 20. He was one and done, so.
He's
Man,
young as hell, son.
Think about us at 19, 20 years old. You know what I would have said in that interview?
They would have known I got paid. as
Any
soon as
other
I left,
people-
Kev.
Right? Like,
Damn right, I
damn.
took the money. They should have given me more.
Yeah, right. Especially to go to NC State.
Like,
Well, you knew something was sketchy going on when they got a top recruit like that. No. Sorry, Wolfpack. That's not happening.
Yeah, you haven't had a good player in years.
well, don't you think that like almost every time like some random guy goes to a place like that?
Yeah, like.
Oh, absolutely. Kentucky.
Oh, well, always Kentucky, but that's just the coach. But what about like these dudes like Porter Jr. went to Missouri? Like, why would he go there?
That's who I was thinking of.
Markel
yeah,
Fultz going to
Went
Washington.
to, yeah, and Markel Fultz was one of the ones that were on the list for being paid to go to college.
Yeah, like you aren't even trying. Like, how did you get the #1 prospect in the country?
Honestly,
Washington?
Ben Simmons going to LSU was one of those, like,
Yeah.
really? You picked LSU? Because they're not a powerhouse in basketball.
When this dude signed to Arizona, I was like, I wonder what's going on there.
Yeah, right? And then they just lost Shaq's son commit, right?
Yeah,
Well, they're going to lose all their commits now.
Yeah.
they can't pay him.
Yeah. The money got taken away and everything.
Checks started bouncing and shit.
Well, it's like Shaq's son doesn't need the money, so.
Yo, there's a bigger issue. What is wrong with people and having all these records of stuff?
Yeah, right.
Like, I feel like I would be the best middleman in the world because we're not having this conversation unless it's face-to-face.
Right.
And it's literally going to be blue chips. Here's some cash in a brown paper bag, and I'm not
bag, yeah.
handing it to you. I'm going to leave it on your porch in the middle of the night. You're going to wake up, and you're just going to know who it's from.
Yeah. Just take that lump of the sack with the money sign on it.
Yeah, like
Right?
these dudes are like writing down expense reports for every dollar that they're doing
Yeah,
illegal.
You're telling on yourself, son.
Dumbass people.
You're just leaving evidence to capture yourself.
Don't leave anything behind,
Yeah.
man.
That's
Kind of
amazing.
criminals are these?
Right, the worst guy.
worst.
Now
They just got that.
Now
They
you're going
just got
to
that
prison.
mask. Like it's like just got that
Now
mask.
you're getting probably a crazy fine and maybe some stupid sentence for college basketball. Like,
It's the repo man.
Repo man.
what do you think? Like, the coach will get punished for that though? Like, he's not going to get anything crazy. He's not going.
I don't know. So I heard an analogy that the FBI, the way that they're dealing with this and handling it, is the same way that they handled the mob when they couldn't get them for killing people. They went after them for the money stuff because they can get them for laundering, illegal wiring, tax evasion.
So we're about to get.
And if
dudes
they actually
30
do
years
that,
for college basketball, son,
yeah, I mean, if they actually do it, they can give them a whole bunch of time.
that's not going to happen, son.
Why else
no
would
way
they be
that
doing this? Like, are they going to waste their time not to put people in jail?
I guess, but there's no way these dudes are gonna get like crazy long sentences over
I don't know.
college basketball money.
What I actually think is going to happen, especially with like Sean Miller, because he's one of the first ones that have been named and actually caught red-handed. These dudes are going to see that they actually have jail time in front of them because they probably had no freaking clue they were breaking a federal law. Yes, I'm doing something that's a no-no within college basketball, but a
NCAA,
federal law.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's going to see the time and be like, yo, listen, what do you want to know? I will give you everybody that's involved in this shit. I'm not going to jail.
Shit.
No.
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 For something that's been happening forever.
Yeah,
Not a
I'm not going
chance
to be
in
the one.
hell.
Straub, where does the NCAA, like, if they get, like, if this goes as far south as it can go, like, who takes over college sports?
The government.
The government.
That's
Please
You don't
no.
think the...
Please no.
Yo, you
don't
asked
think,
as
like-
far south as it could go. That's as far south as it could go as the FBI and the government find that the NCAA is completely and utterly corrupt, and they say, we clean house, we're taking over, and we're going to appoint people.
What if they appoint the three major sports, or the major sports to take over each individual college sport?
That could be an idea that you could actually do, because then you can use college sports as your minor league, and the kids can get the education, get paid.
They
kind of
won't
deal.
do that. They won't do that.
They
Roger,
won't, but-
Roger in charge of the college football.
He can't even
kids.
run his own league, so.
Because they won't do that for the same reason why they won't pay the players. They're not about to start paying for something they were getting for free this whole time.
Yeah, that's a good point too, Rich.
Yep.
Speaking of Roger,
NCAA survives.
Yep.
you know what? It will, but I don't think it's going to be the same. There's no way that it can. With something this big, because the report that came out is literally a 2-year span from one agent. He's not the only one, and it's not just been 2 years.
Oh, I can't wait until we get to the UNC report.
So there is no UNC report. Like,
There's
you were
other-
so pumped when this came out, and then when you saw that it was just a little dinner,
Kyle,
you were like, oh,
when
shit.
I read it, I knew it was just a meeting, like a dinner, and I was like, that was weak.
And that's all you're going to get. That's it. We're not getting named in anything else.
Yeah.
You always said we didn't get the top recruits, son. There must be a reason for it, right?
Couldn't catch
And I
the
tried
checks.
telling you.
we're
Speaking
paying
of North Carolina,
That sucks that that sucks that the one thing I've been hating on you for is gonna be the reason I can't hate on you even harder.
That's a win.
that's a very big win.
Funny how that works.
Speaking of North Carolina, you guys love to harp on us in the beginning of the year when they had a couple losses. How they doing right now?
I don't pay attention to it.
I told
Oh.
you.
Man, number 9.
Kev, you know how they're doing?
I told you ain't making it to the Sweet 16.
Okay, well, let me inform you that we've won 6 straight, got the 3 seed locked up, and now we're number 9, top 10, 2 weeks in a row.
You'll lose
Senior
to
night
Duke.
tomorrow night.
When do you play Duke?
Right. Saturday.
When do you
Saturday
lose?
night.
of the season.
When do you lose to Duke?
Yeah, that's the
We
last game
already
of the
beat
regular
Duke,
season.
son.
When do you lose?
Made
to
it rain
Duke?
on
Okay.
Duke.
This is gonna be like Jets Bills, man. You always split.
That's fine. At least we won at home.
The more important part is that just like the Penguins, who you guys were shitting on a few weeks ago,
I
and I
don't
said
care about
relax,
them.
see where they're at after the Olympics, championship teams know how to peak at the right time. Both the Tar Heels and the Penguins, the defending champions, are peaking at the right time.
Part of me hopes the Tar Heels win again, so you can bother McCoy with the 2-peat shit.
See, but the problem is I don't expect the championship, so I'm not going to be saying the quest for 2 or a 2-peat throughout this NCAA tournament.
Yeah, but if you win one,
They will still live in eternity for if we do get 2 in a row. Then it'll be forever. But I'll take it. I'll deal with it.
I
son.
think this team goes to the Elite 8 at the best, probably. I don't see a Final Four run out of them.
Or gets knocked out in the second round because we didn't show up to play and somebody lights it up on us.
that very easily could happen.
It's gonna be one of the championships you win though when like you're not supposed to are so much better.
Oh God, yes.
It's like when I feel like we're not definitely gonna win, it's like I get way more hyped for the games.
If they ran to a national title this year, shit, Rich, you would
Oh,
hate us.
I'd be
no,
pumped for that.
because I don't really care. Like, it's more fun to make fun of you when they lose because I know how much you care. But when they win, it's like, oh, that sucks. But then I'm happy for you guys.
It never sucks when they win.
I just don't like
Never.
any of their players this year. I think they're all a bunch of scrubs.
They gotta
That's
bring
Theo
you back, Kev. Bring you back as
You
a
don't
coach.
like Theo?
Yeah, there you go. Let him do that little shimmy.
Yeah, that should be.
All their players piss me off, man. I think they're all a bunch of dirtbags.
Non-cheating dirtbags. So who's the real dirtbags?
They're like they reminded
Because
me
they're
like
not getting
the
paid, they're doing it for free like a bunch of suckers.
old kids at the Y.
I'll take it.
Right. So something else that we talked about, we haven't been on for a couple weeks. We were going to do it last week. Rich, you brought up baseball season being around, spring training starting,
I've been reading about them Yanks, Kev.
and you had some changes you wanted to make to baseball.
Oh, yeah.
It would get you to watch a little bit more.
Yeah.
What were those changes? Because it intrigued me when you said it, and I wanted to talk about them.
Well, it started off with baseball thinking about, or I don't know if they're really thinking about it, but it was a rumor that they were thinking about that you could let anyone you want bat in the ninth inning, which is fucking sick. Because if you go into the ninth inning and you're losing, and you can have, like, the Yankees would have Stanton, Judge, and who, that Gary Sanchez guy, Kev?
Well, that clearly wouldn't be good.
Or whoever. You come up to like face your closer, like that would be awesome because that's what the people pay for. But I took it a step further and said, why not just bat like 6 people or 6 to 9 people? Like you could decide if you only wanted 6 people to bat, you could have 6, but you have to have at least 6 because I said 4, but then I forgot if the bases were loaded, like that would be a lot for people. So you got to have at least you got to have at least 6. And you can either have 9 or 6, it doesn't matter, but at least 6. But they didn't have to play the field. So, like, I specifically thought of you, Kyle, because you loved Ray Ordonez. And how cool would it be to have Ray Ordonez at shortstop, but you wouldn't have to worry about him making, he would come up to the plate and you would
Rich,
be like,
to answer your question, he would have been a Hall of Famer. If all he had to do was just play shortstop and just be in the field, he'd have been a Hall of Famer.
Yup. And every time he came up to bat, you'd be like, oh, come on, Ray. Like, you wouldn't be down on him, but you would know this is probably an out. But if you could just swap Ray out and have Mike Piazza walk into the plate, and you'd be bumped.
So this is why I said I wanted to talk about it, because absolutely, I'm all for this shit, dude.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
most baseball people are not for any change, and this is upheaval, and I love it.
Like,
I absolutely love it.
That shit makes it mad exciting.
Like, you can
It would. It would I honestly think it would speed the game up, too.
Oh, yeah, because if you have a team that only has, 6 great hitters and you only bat to 6, okay, it's, it'll go a little bit quicker. Mm-hmm. But you could have guys
The one issue you may run into, though, is because you're putting so many good batters up there, you may run into some games on a more regular basis that are, 9 to 12, and that's not going to shorten a baseball game.
But it's more fun, 9 to 12 than 2 to nothing.
Well, you just have to have your trade-off then.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
And I'm not even saying, if the guy is, Ken Griffey Jr.,
right?
if you have, a Griffey Jr. or, Griffey's the only one coming to mind right now, you can have him play center field and hit if you want him to. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. But you don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd be all for that. I think that would be so awesome.
Yeah, and if you want the game to be even shorter, I guess, only place. Well, I don't for some reason, I have a problem with shortening the innings. I feel like you have to play 9.
Can't shorten a game.
Yeah, so
yeah,
9 it is.
I've thought about that when the whole pitch clock idea first came to baseball, because that would shorten things. And somebody said, "Oh, well, what if they just play 7 or 8 innings?" And you just can't do it. It's not a game if you're only playing 7 innings. Because with 9 people in your order, that's 3 times through the order.
Yeah,
that's what you need to get. Otherwise, it's, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that.
But imagine if they had that
Rich,
rule and it was
I'm on with you
2001
with that
and you could have saw Barry Bonds bat 7 times in a game. That shit would have been dope as hell.
Well, the Giants would have won 7 World Series in a row if that were what the rule was.
He would have hit 1,000 home runs in a season.
May have. I mean, if you're getting that many at bats, shit.
Hell yeah! I mean, think about how much more intriguing than instead of getting bum ass Ray Ordonez up there to play. You could, you know what I mean? Throughout the game, you can put I think people tune in more. I mean,
if Ray Ordonez didn't have to bat and that was the rule, I probably would have 3 more years added to my life right now that were taken away because of either stress when he would come to the plate or arguments with Earl. Because I loved him so much, and Earl would shit on him because he was so terrible at the plate. Take those 2 things away, and he's in the field, and I'm living happier.
Because he was so nice at shortstop.
He is honestly the nicest shortstop. The only reason I hesitate saying greatest ever is because Ozzie Smith in his prime might have beaten him. I didn't see him, though. But Ray Ordonez is the greatest I've ever seen play.
Omar Vizquel.
Ozzy was better.
He may have been. I mean, I've seen some Ozzy highlights, and some of the shit that guy did was
Fucking
unbelievable.
Ozzy Smith, man.
Did you? Have you guys ever seen the replay? He's diving to his
And he
to his
reached
glove
backwards?
side, and a ball hits a rock, and in midair, just snatches the ball without looking, comes up and fires across the diamond to get the guy out.
He's diving up the
Okay.
middle, and he reaches back towards shortstop.
Absurd.
Yeah.
Could he hit?
Not
No,
really.
Ozzy couldn't hit
No.
either. See, so Alex Rodriguez kind of changed, and Nomar Garcia Parra too, because he was the same time, changed the shortstop position. Prior to those guys, the shortstop position was a guy that you relied on defensively.
Less than 10 home
And if he
runs.
could hit, then he could hit cool, but it wasn't that
'Cause
big
you
of a
need
deal.
that defense right there. Was A-Rod a better shortstop than Jeter?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hands down.
So why didn't Jeter move his ass to third?
Rings.
Prick.
Rings, bitch. The captain.
But wouldn't that help you get more rings if you got A-Rod snagging up there instead of whenever he's better than the guy, you know?
It
Not
probably
moving the
would have helped the
captain.
team, but Eric wasn't moving, son. Like, it wasn't even a discussion.
I know it wasn't.
See, this
Jeter's
is my
got
thing
an
about
edge.
that. Like,
They also did not like each other, so there was no way he was moving.
Because Jeter was probably jealous that A-Rod was better than him, son.
He also knew that A-Rod was taking steroids.
Nah, yeah.
listen,
Forget
A-Rod
about
I mean,
Jeter.
A-Rod, listen, A-Rod as a rookie was better than Jeter ever was.
Really?
So it wasn't the steroids
Yes.
that made it.
It's not really close.
That's good.
Oh my God, Alex Rodriguez was filthy.
So he kind of pulled the Barry Bonds then and was just like, I'm just going to take
Yes.
him because everybody else is.
Yep.
I'm not mad at it.
His Texas years were unreal.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers he put up there,
They still weren't Barry Bonds numbers though.
Wasn't he the first one to get like one of those huge mega contracts like that?
oh yeah,
Hell
he
yeah.
broke he broke the goddamn bank when he got the contract with the Rangers.
250 something, right?
Yeah, it was
252.
like
Yep.
250.
What
at
did
the
he get? Two
time-
of those contracts, right?
And at the time though, nobody had ever signed a contract over $200 million, and he got one for $250.
Then what was his next one with the Yankees?
300.
300
Yeah.
million? Damn, that dude made what 550 million off two contracts? That's insane.
in his career in baseball, he probably made $600 to $700 million.
if
in
he
contracts.
wasn't such a dick, he would have made mad money off sponsors and stuff, you know?
Yep.
Like he
And he could have made more money because he wanted to
son.
stick around longer, but teams were like, nah, fuck you, dude. Get out.
Yeah, like he would have made $1 billion.
Literally, the Yankees forced him to retire.
Well, that's because the Yankees were pissed because they had all these like benchmarks that he was gonna have to hit that they thought they were gonna make money off of. And then when everyone
And then
found
he
out
kept
he was
on
on the
cheating.
juice, it was like, oh, they don't count as much.
How many
Oh,
tests
because
did he fail?
they didn't know when they signed that contract with
Yeah.
him.
Not even that he got caught. It's just he broke down.
Well, that too, yeah. You get to a certain
He
point where you
never
stop
failed the
taking
drug
that stuff
test.
in your body.
Like he never got.
What?
He never failed the drug test.
He admitted it.
Oh yeah, he did.
No, did
And he admitted it in that news conference.
That's how he got caught the first time. So when he got caught in one of those reports and he failed a test the second time. So he got caught in the report,
No, he
admitted
failed
it,
too.
said it was only this year in Texas that I did it, and then like a year later he tested positive. And everybody's like, really, dude? Come on.
Well,
And that's when the Yankees really started getting pissed.
What else? What has everyone else done?
what changed? Yeah, like, what changed? You know, it's just like the college basketball thing, son. Like you know what's happening. Like, deal with it.
Like if you're a professional athlete, like do what you go. Take your medicine. You know what I mean? Like that's like
You
part of
play
like
200 games a season. Like you need to take something. Like
I ain't asking you to turn into the Hulk or the Stone guy from Fantastic Four, but like
thing.
like you could take some
Thing.
you could take something to like just help you. You know what I mean? Like
That's what like most of it's for too, right? Like they be taking it to heal up.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, so let them
all
take
these
it.
rules in sports, man. It's ridiculous.
Just let them all have at it.
Like they want to make the game worse, son. Like,
You know what else is really fucking
It's actually
dumb to
speaking
me?
of recovery and a lot of games and stuff. There's a topic I know Rich wanted to touch on. Jimmy Butler goes down with a non-contact knee injury. You know, McCoy and I are big Jimmy fans because we're Bulls fans. I'm glad that his knee is not torn.
Me too.
It's just a meniscus.
I
He'll
don't
probably
like
be
that
back
either.
this season. I've heard talk of like should he come back and stuff. Yes, that shit is not structural. Once they clean it out, it's just heal up and then
Depends on
go.
the player. I mean, I'm knowing Jimmy
No,
Butler,
son.
he's going to come back and play, but
Kev,
like,
you've had a meniscus just like I have. Once they take it out, it's not a like you can get hurt anymore kind of deal.
What about Derrick Rose?
Yeah, but
yeah,
Derrick Rose tore his knee up. That was not a meniscus.
He's
so
hurt
this
his
just got
meniscus,
torn too. Yeah.
Yeah, but he also had complete reconstructive surgery.
it still sucks, dude. Like it's
It does, but it's not something that he can't come back from this season. So anyway, the whole point, I know you wanted to talk about this, Rich, because of Tibbs.
Yeah, because he needs
Because
to be
he's got a
banned as a
track
fucking
record
coach.
of this shit.
He needs to be like someone needs to sit his ass fuck down and tell him that this shit isn't okay. Like Luau Dang was an all-star when he got him, and he ran him into the ground. He's the reason why Luau Dang
Ran
doesn't
him
show up
into the
to
ground.
like Luau Dang doesn't show up to Laker
he's
games.
your boy.
Yeah, but he doesn't show up to games, and he's at home making like
Nope.
$35 million.
Because he can't walk out the door.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Point proven.
Goes to get off the couch and, oh, not happening tonight, Luke.
like
Sorry.
Joakim Noah got ran into the ground. Derrick Rose, his whole career. got
Especially the big man, son. You're playing the big man like 45 minutes a night. Like,
when you're up by
chill.
25.
Yeah, relax. Yeah, he's
God,
wild.
And Jimmy
So
Butler,
it's not like he's playing a run and gun either. Like you got to go down there and like set plays and
Yeah.
post up and stuff. Like
Well, I think
use the
I
shot
think
clock.
the issue with Tibbs is not the style of play or what they do in games.
Defense.
It's that they do the same shit in practice.
the motherfucker didn't play in the All-Star game. Because
And I've heard rumors that it was because he wanted to rest because his knee was bothering him before the
Yeah.
game.
And nobody checked that out, though? Like, at that point, they were like, well, why don't we just in case, scope this knee out?
Well, I mean, if you scope the knee, you're out for 4 weeks.
Do something, like, it's
So
better
then
than 46 weeks.
I mean, you don't just cut somebody open just to look inside.
No,
son.
like, they can do
That's
some
what sucks,
testing,
dude.
test this shit or something, do an MRI.
That's what
you
an
know?
MRI is for.
Yeah, that worked out great for him.
He didn't get an MRI. There was nothing wrong with his
McCoy,
knee.
what he
weren't-
needed
even
was
if they had
just some-
scoped, they weren't going to find
He
anything.
needed some good old fashioned rest, man.
Yeah.
But they weren't about to sit him. You know what I mean?
Nah, of course Tibbs wasn't saying him. Not a chance. Oh, you're healthy? No,
He's
deal with
averaged
it.
So-
like 36 minutes a game over the last 4 years.
So do you guys think that Tibbs is worth having as a coach, though?
Not
Is
if
the
he's
trade-off
destroying
worth
my
it?
superstars.
No, because quite honestly,
He should be
I
a
don't-
team's defensive coach.
Yeah,
Right? Assistant coach, yeah.
he won a championship doing that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what he was in Boston.
You know,
It's
Actually, there was another injury, well, near injury. Our boy Russ. I didn't see this live. I actually
fucking
just saw it
Zaza.
today.
it was Zaza.
Yo, Zaza's a piece of shit.
He's not a piece of shit. He's just clumsy.
No,
Yeah,
son, that's
son,
not
that's
clumsy.
lay off the guy.
Nobody touched him. It looked like there was a rope on him and
That's
somebody
okay.
just yanked him down.
That's what KD said. KD said he didn't do it on
Yeah, he's
purpose.
clumsy.
He's just clumsy.
KD's
Oh,
probably the one
okay.
that told him to do it.
He did. He just fell on that fool. Like he looked like Gronk did to that Buffalo Bills player.
Oh my God. Gronk literally went NFL blitz on that dude.
That dude on the Bills, right?
Yes.
He got his back though in the AFC Championship game.
Yo, in a bad way.
Yeah, it's karma for you, Gronk. Go to WWE now, boy.
Yo, someone's gonna take Zaza out though, man.
Somebody's gonna
Good.
put hands on him, son.
Yeah, I know that's gonna happen. Oh, don't let it be. Who was that dude? I forget. There was a guy in when all them fights broke out and like
Got the Magic.
yeah, Aflalo.
Yeah, Aflalo, there we go.
He just got like
Oh, the dude with the hair?
Yeah.
No,
No, that's Peyton.
Oh,
Yo.
okay.
Aflalo took a shoulder to the chest that you would just expect to get going through the lane, and he just threw hands and just started throwing hooks.
Ended up
Like,
in a headlock.
yeah, he did. But Aflalo's gonna catch Zaza. That's
Real
what's
quick,
gonna happen.
Yeah, but Zaza's gonna try the wrong person. And
It's
hopefully they
weird
put
that
him-
like the Warriors only do that to Russ because of KD, right? Because they don't have to do it to him to beat
Has to
them.
be. Nah, it's got to be just like the mental warfare kind of thing.
Like
Like,
Nick
let's
Young,
just try and
Nick Young
screw with
dancing
Russ.
in front of him. Did you see that?
No, what was that?
Yeah, I did see.
Nick Young
Oh,
hit the,
yeah,
hit
it's
the
right,
three and
yeah.
then shimmied on him, and Russ pushed him.
Yeah.
That was funny
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, they probably all like get in his head, like you said. It's all mental.
Russ
Get
is
him
one of
extra
those
hyped
cats.
up, you know, get him emotional.
Well, Russ is one of those cats like Kobe, where like if you get kind of like Kobe, because I feel like Kobe won these battles more often than not. But
Yeah.
like if you
Yeah.
get in Russ's head, he'll get in like a zone, like a tunnel vision zone, and he'll forget he has PG and Carmelo out there.
So
He'll
that's,
just
I
start
think,
jacking up shots.
That's the part where like Kobe would win because Kobe
Could shoot.
better. Yeah, Kobe was better than Russ,
He could
but at
just
the
shoot.
same time, Kobe didn't need his teammates as much as Russ does to win. Like if Russ takes the ball and just does it himself, you're probably gonna beat him.
I mean, not if he drops 50 on you and is
Now,
still
let him
killing
drop
it.
50 because he's gonna take 50 shots to do so if you've gotten in his head like that.
I don't know. You just got to get him off his game. Like,
And I think that's getting him off his game. Like get him to the point where that venom is in his blood and he's just gonna go at you every time.
yeah, but
Because
what
you know
if
what's coming. It's easy.
that happens and he's just driving to the rim, dunking on you every time? Then you're gonna lose.
So you think
Like,
Golden State
you
is
still
gonna have that
to
happen
make-
to them?
Yeah, but you still have to make him settle for the jump shots. Like, you can't just piss him off and
Yeah,
if he's driving on you. He's
that's
scoring.
the one difference because Kobe's best feature was being able to take a shot over 3 people and still drop
Yeah,
it in all 3 of
exactly.
their faces. God, that was
Kobe
awesome.
gets shoots, son. Kobe's hitting hard shots like that. Russ shooting threes is not good for him.
But so like that's what I mean.
Difficulty
Like with
level.
Golden State,
Yeah.
because they're the ones who do this to him. If they get him pissed off, well, you can put either KD or Draymond on him. Go ahead and drive. They're bigger,
Yeah.
so it's going to make him forced to take that three.
No, it's hard.
They can put
That's
a lot
just
of people.
Golden
They
State,
can put
they're too
Draymond
good.
on him. They can put Klay Thompson on him.
Clay,
They can
yeah.
put KD
They
on
got
him.
options. However they want to play this.
Iguodala could do him.
Yeah.
Fuck that team. The Rockets are
Right.
still beating them.
No, they're
I hope
not.
so,
Yeah, they are.
but I don't think so.
Yeah, they are.
No, we're gonna do this again, guys.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Like, did the Rockets really get better?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely, they got better.
The
Because
Warriors
they have
got
2 people that can
lazier.
handle the ball and initiate the offense now.
Who? CP2?
Yeah.
CP2, yeah.
We're counting on him now in the Western Conference Finals if he makes it for the first time.
Has he ever played with
You
someone
asked
as
if they
good as
got
James
better,
Harden?
not if we can count on CP2.
Yeah, well, I mean, like that much better that they're gonna beat the Warriors now.
Yes.
No, I mean,
Warriors
I don't
are
think
lazy
they're going
now.
to, but they've gotten better from what they were last year.
Rockets and 6.
Rockets in 6.
Doesn't even give him 7. Oh, man. I need the Pelicans to stop winning games. We need the Pelicans to stop winning games. to
Right?
fall up out of
What are
this-
you guys
in this
doing?
lottery.
I'm included in that week. I want them to stop winning.
There you go. There you go. Works out for everybody. Kev, you're in on it too, son. Take them L's,
In-
L's.
You know, the injuries suck.
Yeah.
I think it's why I'm so mad at Thibs because, like, I love the Lakers and they're my squad. We all know this, but, like, I love basketball. And, like, Minnesota was going to be a cool team to watch in the playoffs. The Pelicans were going to be cool to watch in the
Yep.
playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Boogie's injury was crazy too, because that happened when I was down in NC, and we were watching it, and he just like it was non-contact. Like, he came down on his foot weird, and it was like and we were like but right away we were both like
The two of
Played
us
the
thought
whole
maybe he had a
damn
cramp
game.
for a second, and
Yeah.
then we saw that reaction of the foot bending,
Yeah,
and
we're
we're
like,
like, oh, no.
And what, there was like 3 seconds left.
Yeah, yep. In a game that
he was
they had lost.
killing
already.
that team.
yeah, he
was.
was.
He was the only reason they were in it.
He was doing everything. We were just like, geez, this dude is so good, and then he hurts himself, and we're like, damn. Like, well, hopefully it's not that serious, but we'll see him next year.
That was a
Maybe.
grade A move there by the Pelicans to have AD wear his jersey at the All-Star game.
Did he?
Yeah, he played
I
the
saw
first
that.
5 minutes or the first time he was in there in Boogie's jersey.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's dope.
It's a nice move.
That something like that, I feel like would mean a lot to Boogie. Like,
Me too, because
And that's probably
Talks
why
about
they did
loyalty,
it,
you
getting
know?
him
Yeah.
getting him to stick around when his
Uh-huh.
contract is done.
yeah, but they need to worry about keeping AD now because he was making some comments the other day. Any of y'all see what he was saying about like Kevin Garnett?
Mm-mm.
No.
He was saying he was talking to like Kevin Garnett, who was telling him he wished he would have
Oh,
left
they can't
Minnesota.
I was gonna say they can't let him do that because I've heard KG say that before.
Yeah.
And AD even in this interview was like, well, he was like, I want to be a loyal guy and I do really want to win here, but that sort of stuff makes you think. And I'm like, yeah, I bet it does.
Especially coming
So-
from Kevin Garnett, like he looked
Uh-huh.
up to him as a player, like
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's definitely his boy.
because he's like KD 2.0, like he's what you get from people watching KG.
Yeah, yeah. Now they can stretch it out a little farther. Yep. That's crazy.
Well, last topic for the night is gotta be Black Panther. I went and saw it. I know McCoy saw it. Kev, Rich, you guys get a chance to?
No.
All right. Well, you're not McCoy, so you don't care about spoilers. We're talking about it. That shit is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, that movie was dope. You think that's what?
Like, I don't
I'm
even
too
know where to
excited,
begin
McCoy.
with it.
Huh?
Might have to go see it right now.
You should.
You
Just
really
off
should.
McCoy's
Like,
reaction.
Yeah. Like, shit.
I'm glad I made the hard sell for you.
Yo, it honestly, it's one of those movies that there's nothing that I can pick from it that sucked.
Nah.
The acting was good. The storyline was good. The action was good. The way it was shot. Literally everything was awesome about this friggin' movie.
You know it was good too if he has nothing bad to say about it. Like not one thing.
No, nothing. There was nothing that I saw that I was like, damn,
That's like
wish they would have done something different with that. Or I didn't like this part of it. It got slow here. Nope.
Nah, they hit it pretty spot on. Like,
They explained everything. The character development was the way it needed to. It just, yeah, it was perfect as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, it was like the fourth or fifth highest opening of all time, and it had. I saw something earlier. I can't remember what it says. I'm trying to find it right now, but it had like the second biggest opening weekend ever or something. So
I've heard a lot of people say it's their favorite Marvel movie, and I think it's my second favorite.
what's the first?
Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool is not MCU. Deadpool is
Yeah.
a Fox movie.
But it's a Marvel movie, though.
Yeah, it's a Marvel character, but I would. I don't really.
If we're talking Marvel Universe, then yes, Black Panther. But because Deadpool was rated R, it just put it on a different level that
Yeah.
these other movies can't get to.
That comes out in May.
The
May or
second
June,
Deadpool?
yeah. Yep. But yeah, my brother asked me like as soon as I got home from the movie if I thought it was the best Marvel movie, and I'm like trying to think of what I like better than it, and I'm like I don't want to say it is because I feel like every time I see one of these movies, I'm like, oh, that was definitely the best one, and I don't know if it's just like because I'm that excited having just seen
Is
it,
it
or,
the most recent one in your memory?
yeah, or if it's the most recent one in my memory. But I watched like I watched Spider-Man again. I watched Thor again. I probably like Black Panther better, which is crazy because I think Spider-Man and Thor were awesome. Like those movies are sick, and that's just, I don't know. I'm glad this movie's doing good though because see, I thought the all black thing going on there.
Yeah, well, so if Rich and Kev, if you guys actually go do and see it, it beyond just being a really good movie, because of the all black cast or majority, as well as I think the like writers, producers, directors, all of that were as
Yeah.
well. There's underlying tones in this movie that speak to today. That kind of stuff makes a movie that is a comic book movie go to that next level where you can say, all right, yeah, that's the best one I've seen.
Yeah, the theater gave it a standing ovation when I was watching, and everybody was clapping. I was dying like, yo, people
I
are
went
too much.
I went midday and there was 6 other people and they were all over 60. They couldn't stand.
Son,
So
I
there was
went-
no standing ovation.
I went opening weekend on Sunday night, and the theater was packed. Like we got there
sure.
later than I wanted to, and we had to sit in the third row. So there were no seats left in this theater, and I've never seen that at Red Hook before.
Oh, you went to Red Hook too?
Yeah, like them theaters are never like
Because
that.
everything else was probably completely sold out, so people had to just overflow, and that's where they were going.
Well, the dumb thing was Red Hook only had 3 regular showings of it. So I don't know what they were thinking, but they probably lost
Red
themselves
Hook.
mad money.
Damn, that's wild. So when you buy a ticket, it's like you don't get an assigned seat. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
shit.
you just-
Yeah, that's how they are here too,
It's been
Kev.
so long. When I go out and buy a movie ticket, I get to on the screen. It tells me I get to pick, so I just show up whenever, dude.
Oh, really?
Get out of my seat.
Oh man, I feel like I'm in 1947 over here. What the fuck?
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
like
right?
it.
Yo, Kev, I'm guessing that your movie theaters are just like the ones that are here, like
Oh, they
big ass leather recliner
recline.
seats.
There's
Oh, yeah.
there's one down by the water that they'll serve you dinner and alcoholic beverages.
During the movie, absolutely. They have a waiter that brings you shit. Yep.
I
Yeah,
heard about them. I don't
Yeah,
like to
it's
talk
awesome.
about them because I don't have them, but yeah, I heard.
I never heard of like assigned seat picking though.
well, that's
dope.
everything, dude. Like I can go on right now and buy my seats for tomorrow or this Saturday or whatever.
Shit, you can do them way in advance. When Star Wars came out, me and a bunch of people from work did it, and one girl went on a month before it came out, picked our group of seats, and bought them.
Well, that's what I'll do with Infinity War. Like, I'll buy the tickets a month before the show at least. But I can't
But
pick
you
my
ain't
own
picking your
seat.
seat.
Yeah,
At least I
get
know
your
I'm getting
seat,
it in the
man.
IMAX, son. So,
Hey, real quick, can I ask you a question?
So I did have one.
Yep.
Go for it.
Show can.
We were talking. I sent you some stuff to send your brother today, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
respect and like your brother. But what do you trust his opinion on? I know it used to be music, and it used to be like movies. But is he like he
movies
is?
we talking about? He's usually
Huh?
not so bad with sports. He just hates the Lakers. He was
Okay,
trying to tell me today.
I just wanted to make sure that was the only thing. All right,
It wasn't in every aspect.
because I don't want to
of life.
see him and strike up a conversation and have to be like, oh no. Like,
He just sent me a video of the Lakers game on Instagram. Saying somebody, it's Isaiah Thomas, and he said this guy might not be in the league in a couple years.
he's right there. But
I
it's
was hoping it was something
73.
about Ingram.
It was 70. It's 73 to 57. So,
Is it? Yeah.
and they're
but
about to tie their win total from last year tonight.
yeah. Well, that's why I told him you hate the Lakers, and he was like, "No, I don't hate the Lakers." And then he was saying,
Bullshit. I've never spoken to him about the Lakers or the NBA before, but just from the little bit I've seen in our group chat, yes, he does.
That's all I go about. I think Rich will send me something. I'm like, I'm going to see what he thinks about this.
Yo, Rich, I was laughing so hard earlier because when I was joking
Yo.
around in our group chat, when I heard about this, and I jokingly sent a question like, yo, who's your favorite NBA team? And McCoy's brother's answer is, yo, I love not the Lakers.
Yo, that is
Thinking
his
I was
favorite
funny.
team. Yeah,
That's his answer, though.
that's his
That should
answer.
be his answer. Because I can't. Oh no, Laurie just got dunked down by somebody.
That's fine. We need to lose.
But we'll
That
see.
wasn't-
So I had
Fine.
one question back to
Yo.
Black Panther for you guys, because you guys read the comics. And I obviously, like, their technology is a huge part of it.
Kinda forever.
But I didn't realize that their technology is more than what Iron Man has.
Yes.
Like, way more.
The vibranium son can do everything.
yeah.
Literally
Yeah, so-
everything.
So going into it, I knew that, like, that was their source of power for the Black Panther and his costume or whatever, or his uniform. But I didn't realize the advances for, like, the medical stuff. And the dopest thing was when she was sitting in the car in her lab
Yeah.
and driving the Mercedes around on the streets.
Yeah,
That shit was that was my favorite part. I think.
Oh, McCoy, I want to ask you too. It says I saw it online somewhere, but I didn't want to ask you because you didn't see the movie yet, and I didn't want to hurt your feelings or whatever. But
I appreciate that.
they showed. I was so unsure. I was so mad at myself that I felt unsure I could ask you a question. I was pissed, but
Sensitive ass movie watcher over here.
Don't
I
ruin
saw
my Marvel movies.
someone break down the Infinity War trailer and how Tony Stark's suit goes on while he's walking, like it's coming up his skin. And they were comparing it to like some technology. What is it called? Like the blood fusion suit or whatever, the blood fury suit that Iron Man had that he got from Black Panther, because that's how Black Panther gets his suit on.
Yeah, they're gonna make all stuff for everybody. Like that shield Cap's gonna have in Wakanda's the vibranium stuff. Like Iron Man gets that. Like they're
Because
all
if
gonna
you
make
see
weapons
it-
together.
If you watch the Infinity War trailer, when he's in the streets with them and he's walking, you can see Iron
Yeah.
Man's suit crawling up
Start
his
pulling
neck.
up, yeah.
So there's in the Black Panther movie, Rich, they actually show you what happens with that, and his sister develops it. The like necklace thing that he wears, the suit is completely encapsulated in those teeth, and it's like connected to him through his DNA. So all he has to do internally is say
Yeah,
to
turn it on.
come on,
Yeah.
and it just whoop, and it
I
comes on.
think it's a storyline I didn't see. Brandon Ingram has 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. But it's a
trash.
storyline
Yeah.
I never read that. But Tony Stark gets something like that, and they put it in that thing in his chest so he can call the Iron Man suit whenever he wants it.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially because like the last scene after the credits in this Black Panther movie are him at a podium, and he's talking about how the vibranium is not going to be a secret anymore. They're going to share it with the world, help to better people and stuff. So there's no
Coming out
doubt
of the shadows.
they're going to extend that to the other Avengers.
Did they get
Well,
deep
yeah,
into
they're-
like?
Go ahead.
You can go. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, no, like they're gonna have to all work together and make cool stuff to like powerful stuff to beat Thanos. You know,
Yeah.
like they just can't do it with the stuff they have. Like Iron Man's tin armor gets destroyed all the time. Now he's gonna fight this dude that has godlike powers and get punched and not receive. You know, like, and he's been working on like the Extremis armor and all that different armor. So he'll link up with their scientists, that chick, and they'll build some stuff, and then they'll all work together. It'll be amazing.
One of the other things with the suit, Rich, was the fibers that were woven into it. Every time that it got hit, it absorbed that impact and it stored it. So once it built up enough, he could release it with like a blow, and it would
energy.
be 10. Yeah, it'd be 10 times harder than what he normally would be able to do.
Did they go deep into like the Black Panther storyline? How like every time a Black Panther dies or a new one is made, he gets all the knowledge
In the
and
beginning,
strength from the beginning.
Kind of.
in the beginning, they do like a little like somebody's telling a story to a kid type thing, and explains like how the vibranium came and how the first Black Panther was chosen.
Mm-hmm.
And then it definitely gives you hints. Like at one point when he
When they
becomes
become the
Black
Black Panther,
they put him into the spiritual plane, and he like goes and sees his dad and all the past Black Panthers.
Yeah, like he awakens in this spiritual plane, and he
Alright.
sees this tree with just hundreds of Black
Yeah, you just see
Panthers in
Panthers
it.
on there, and it's like his dad just hops down, and then
Yeah, one of them hops down, and it
So
becomes
it's
his
like
father.
it's like Simba seeing Mufasa in the clouds. I got it.
Yeah.
pretty much. Pretty much. And yeah, I mean, like the big theme of the movie is like, what the hell was I just gonna say? About like not just accepting things for the way they've always been, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like he has problems like stuff his dad might have done, and then at the end they come out and like, oh, we're not gonna hide anymore type thing.
Yeah, like Michael B. Jordan's character is the bad
I
guy, but
wasn't
he's
gonna
not.
talk about him because I didn't want to ruin anything, but.
You're not ruining nothing
I
for
was trying
nobody.
to
Everybody,
avoid talking about him.
everybody is cool with hearing what's going on. You're the only one who don't like spoilers. He's the bad guy in the movie, but he's not what? Huh?
I'm the smart one.
Oh, okay. He's not really a bad guy though.
I mean, he is.
But his like what he wants is essentially what they end up doing.
In the first-
he's got bad
I
intentions.
saw someone say
In the
Michael
first-
B. Jordan's character in Black Panther hated white people so bad he got an MIT degree and started studying on people.
Yo, he was such a good villain though. Like he says he's not a bad guy. In the first scene he's in a robbery that kills people. Like they kill like 6 people. How's he not a bad guy?
Because what he would like, what his end game was, is essentially what happened in the movie.
No, it's
He
not-
wanted vibranium to be out there to help people that were oppressed.
Right, I get that, but
What did they end up doing at the end of the movie?
He wanted to take over
They
the
helped
world.
people that are oppressed with the vibranium.
Son, he wanted to
He
military
just had
run
a
up in
skewed view
everywhere.
of it, though.
Yeah, which makes him a bad guy, son. He wanted to kill everybody and take over everywhere. That's a bad guy.
No, he wasn't talking about
Nah.
killing everybody.
Yeah, he was, son. He said
He literally said, "I want to give the vibranium weapons to people that are oppressed so they can rise up."
Well, how do you think rising up is, son? Overthrowing the governments, like
But that's not killing everybody, though.
everybody that opposes you. Like that's a villain, son. He's just
Literally
gonna murder
what Hitler
everybody.
did.
Yeah, like he's just gonna murder everybody that's against them and take over. That's a villain, son.
So, like I said, he's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy because he has good intentions. He just has a skewed view about going about it.
His whole body was covered in marks. He marked himself when he killed people. He had
He
like
was
a million.
special
Whole body
forces
was
guy in our
covered in marks.
military.
Son.
Like
He was a pretty bad guy.
he's got a skewed view, son.
He put hands on Black Panther though, son, but neither of them
The
had
first
powers.
time, yes,
son.
he did.
He was putting hands on him the second time too.
I thought it was pretty even the second
They just
time.
used their secret little technology that he didn't know about. You know,
Oh,
he had
so
the
he cheated
didn't
like
have the
Iron
upper
Man
hand.
did?
Black Panther cheated. Yeah, Black Panther got his ass whipped twice in that movie, son.
I mean, kind of 3 times. Even the other tribesman that he fought the
Yeah.
first time he becomes king.
You know who
he was
that
getting
was?
his ass
You
whooped
probably don't know
before
who
he
that
finally
was.
won.
That was supposed to be Manape from the comics.
Who?
Manape is the character.
Okay.
He's a big
Oh,
ape.
makes sense because they had the big like monkey
Yeah,
face
yeah.
at the skull.
He's a big
Yeah.
ape, son. He's a big white ape. He got his powers by eating a rare white gorilla, and he's just a big ape. But
Oh, did he?
They
wait a
wouldn't
minute.
make
Did
him
he,
a monkey
did
in the
he
movie.
eat the rocks? He ate the rocks gorilla. You see the upcoming movie with The Rock.
That movie looks pretty dope, though.
Oh, I used to play that game in the ground round, man.
Yeah, that's right, you
In the
did.
round.
With Rampage. That game was mad fun.
You going to see that?
Hell no. I said,
No, you just watch it on there.
unless it's our, what's that show we watch?
Ooh.
With The Rock in it? Ballers?
Ballers, yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch that, but I'm not watching Rampage.
Yeah, I bet you that movie looked pretty good, though. Like the huge ape
Shut
wreck and
up,
everything, and then
Oh.
mad big monsters.
Like San Andreas, too, right?
That was alright.
The-
Dude, if you want to see some stuff get blown up and stuff, you know, there's a lot worse movies you could watch than it. Like 50 Shades, Rich.
I never said that movie was good. I said it's
You
better
said
than Harry
something like it's
Potter.
good. Wow, that's obviously lies.
It's not though. To
Did
me,
you see
it entertains me more
Jumanji?
than Harry Potter.
Yeah. I watched
saw
Jumanji
Jumanji.
with him down in that
Yeah,
city.
he watched it when he was down here.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not bad, son. Like,
Yeah.
it's it's not the best movie, but it's not terrible.
I thought it was going to be a remake of the original one, so I was a little surprised when I got into it and it wasn't. But yeah, it was all right. That was pretty good.
Well, they're
There was-
making a Jumanji
there was some-
too, so
There was
I'll watch
really come on. There was some funny parts in it. Jack Black is in it, so you know there's going to be some shit that's stupid. But yeah, it was all right. Worth a watch.
McCoy, when you sent that text in the group chat before that said "my boy," I thought it was Unbreakable 2 or some shit.
no, that was your boy Joe Pa.
Nah.
might even be your boy Joe Pa. Yeah, did you actually watch the trailer? Because I didn't.
Fuck
No.
no. Oh my god, Lori got it bad.
Yeah,
I'm not even watching it. I just saw that the headline said that somebody may have ended Laurie's career.
No, he did.
yeah. You're 7 foot, Lori. You got to jump up and foul that dude at least. Like,
Who was it?
That's some Jared Allen dude or something. I don't know what his name is.
Oh, Jared Allen. He played at Boston College, I think, at college.
Really?
No, Virginia Tech. He was on Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jared Allen.
Yep.
Yeah. Rip Lori. He's struggling lately too. That rookie wall hit him hard.
Yeah, it'll happen.
But that-
You're not used to playing that many games.
That's kind of helping us, so that's fine.
Good. We need to lose.
You know.
Tank.
Word, it's good that he showed he can play. So honestly, he can sit out the rest of the year. Just play 10 minutes a night, Lori. You'll figure it out. Let's take these L's.
All right, you guys got anything you want to bring up? We hit everything?
Yeah, I'm good.
We're good, man.
Good. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back next week. The fellas are out.